Hi, my name is Griffin Conley, and today I will be answering the question of why cats purr. Ever since I was really young, my family has always had cats. We always just, that was the pet that we got. My dad didn't want dogs, and so we ended up getting cats. And because of this, I've always wondered, uh, like, what the situations where cats purring might mean. There always seemed to be certain situations where it happened consistently, and then others where it'd be a little bit odd, and I wasn't sure what was going on. But it always seemed to soothe them, and it always seemed to soothe me. I just had no idea that there could be more than one purpose for a cat's purr. So today I want to go over the three main reasons why cats purr. Um, being that uh, they purr to show contentment, to communicate with people as well as other cats, and then also to heal and soothe. So right in, we'll move to the first one, which is to show contentment. Apologize. So showing contentment. This is actually the most common type of purring. This is like warm places in the sun or petting. I know for me, the first thing that pops up is the example of like the time lapse of the cat. It's sitting like through the window and the sun's coming in, and as the sun angle moves, so does the cat like with it. Just because that's the most comfortable spot because it's the warmest. Um, and then even eating is actually another like reason where they might be purring. And this is actually because it just I mean, I don't know about you, but I know that whenever I'm eating, I'm typically pretty content. And so this one actually makes more sense to me than maybe most people. And then the next type of communication is actually, or the next type of purring is communication. So this one is actually super important because when they're very young, like kittens, they have to purr to let their mother know that they're alive and to be fed. Um, Otherwise, as sad as it is, they'll just be thrown to the back and they won't be worried about because the mom thinks they're dead and she's not going to waste resources or time and effort on a kitten who's not alive. So this one's actually super important from the get-go. Um, and then uh, they also purr when they want things. So a lot of the time, this can be a learned behavior, is that they'll purr when they like want food or if they want attention. And typically, you find this in older cats. Uh, this next one is also adult cats purr with each other to show that they are not a threat. Um, I know that if I've ever walked up on a cat and he's purring, I typically can see that he is either in a good mood and is willing to be petted or picked up or whatever. But if they're not, then you don't really want to mess with them. So we'll move into the next one, which is actually, excuse me, that cats purr to soothe and heal. So purring actually occurs at 25 to 150 hertz, which has been shown that it might help with muscle and bone tissue healing quicker. Um, the cats that I have typically get in a lot of fights, and so if they're doing this, I know that it's probably not because they're happy they just got in a fight. It's probably just because it feels nice and this is something they do. Purring can also soothe stress or anxiety. This is something that they've been doing since they were legitimately born, and so this is probably just a behavior that feels natural to them and that they enjoy. And it actually is like a comforting thing, how we might get on our phone and go to a certain app, or if we have like a specific blanket that we like. This is kind of the same thing. Um, and then one example that I've seen of this is actually whenever we take my cats to the vet, typically right after because they just got a shot or whatever, they're not super happy. And so because of this, I've noticed that they're purring, but it's not a purring out of like contentment. It's a purring because they're actually trying to like lessen their stress and anxiety. And so that's actually a pretty good example of what I've seen. And then move on here. Yeah, so that's actually the end of this. But to wrap up what we've been talking about, cats purr for much more than just like feelings of happiness. We went over how cats purr to show contentment and comfort. Next, we talked about how cats purr to communicate and even build relationships. We even mentioned how cats purr to help them heal physically, but almost more importantly, mentally as well. So the next time you hear a cat purring, you'll be able to see how they're expressing much more than just happiness.